Is you Latin, African, Jamaican? What's that accent? That you're passionate when you're smashing. Have we met? You must be from Texas, girl. Are you from Texas? No, you couldn't fool me, and it's so crazy, girl. Your body's so impatient. The way you move, no hesitation, and I can feel vibrations. You're so reckless, girl. Why you so?
Yo, what's good? I'm your host, Calvin Kosher, and you are live with SLEM TV. And if you don't know what SLEM stands for, I'm going to educate you tonight. It stands for Social Life Events Media. Yeah, we have a magazine. You've heard about it. You're going to hear about it more. But nevertheless, we live at SLEM TV, and I got some really special and important people in the house. I got the lovely lady here representing the House of Vega. Go ahead and talk to him.
Hello, my name's Ariane Cherise, and I am representing the new agency out in Houston, House of Vega.
We have the influencer in here with his team, Country Cowboy. Go ahead and talk to him, bro. You do it best.
Yeah, well, that's me right here, Country Cowboy. I got my hat here. I can't put it on with the headphones on. I brung the squad with me, my brothers, just everybody. I mean, this is the whole team, and I think that's important to know. Of course, we got employees that work as far as like across seas that help us with a lot of different stuff. But I brought my brother Princeton here, the CEO of the Centiverse, and Justin. Princeton, I know I just introduced you, but if you can go ahead and do that again, that'll be perfect.
Okay, my name is Princeton, CEO of the Centiverse, and I created the company. I always say this, but from the back room of my mother's house, right? I was broke, negative $107.35, and I took that in that a year or two to do my first six figures, and now we doing big business all over. I've brought a lot of people in, and also I'm committed because our vision is to help people reach their full potential and live a life of freedom. I'm always committed to giving people the tools they need to be successful, and my big goal in life is to help create 1 million seven-figure businesses. So that's something I want to do.
PV.
My name is Justin Perry Reed. I am actually the vice president of the Centiverse. Very, very fortunate to have these two gentlemen as not only my business partners, but also my brothers. We've definitely built family. I'm responsible for a lot of things at the Centiverse, but primarily I'm responsible for enforcing culture and making sure that culture is maintained, that there's a high energy, high volume, things are getting done, and that, things that are being passed down from the top of the chain of command are actually getting implemented and carried out. So that's part of my role and responsibility over the Centiverse. The Centiverse used to be a digital marketing company, but now we've transitioned into being an educational, just resource or arm for the people.
Can we curse on here or no?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
I say let's not. Did I?
Nah, I was just gonna say. Can I say one?
You gotta make sure.
Just one. Fuck client work.
I like that one.
Yeah, we transitioned out of client work. So like I said, we're just mainly focusing on providing informational and resources, educational resources.
Yeah, helping people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you asked that question though, because
because we'll get
this is a family show, sir.
Yeah, you right. Hey, listen. Now we get real on this podcast, man. We all adults here, but nevertheless. Let's see. Hold on. Yo, can you hear me?
I hear you, bro. What up?
All right, so SLEM TV, I got my main man, Konfuzion Hoops, on the phone. He got a flight to catch tomorrow. This is a true baller, professional celebrity baller.
I got a flight to catch tonight. I'm out.
Hey, man, I just wanted to give you a quick second to introduce yourself. And I know you met Kobe because we all in this big sadness about our brother leaving us, man, and we know you had a personal chance to meet that man, and you ball for real. So go ahead and speak to the people one time, bro.
Yeah, actually, my god brother, he actually played with Kobe Bryant, Ronnie Price, who went to Clearbrook High School from Friendswood, Texas. They actually played 2 seasons together with the Los Angeles Lakers. So met Kobe a couple of times, was able to shake his hand. And, sometimes the memory is worth more than the canvas more than anything. So the first couple of times I saw, I was like, I ain't gonna even ask him for a picture. I'm just gonna be stuck in this moment. But he was just so cool, man, and just so humble, and he had a presence about him that nobody really had, because of his greatness. But it's just a unfortunate situation, man, about what happened. Especially you know, with him and Gigi and you know, the other pastors, you know, that were on board the plane, and man, it's still unreal. You know, it really hasn't just hit. You know, some things, man. You know, when people grieve, you know, some things it hits you right away. A lot of people, they grieve differently. You know, like, you know, I lost my mom 3 months ago. You know, just to get personal. You know, I lost my mom in October 16th. So, you know, it's been 3 months. You know, kind of, you know, since she's been gone. And then, you know, me growing up idolizing Kobe, man, it just hit. You know, it really haven't hit me yet, but trust me, man, it's gonna hit, man. And when it hit, it's gonna hit hard because I'm still in shock that, you know, he's actually gone. Like, this is Kobe Bryant. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Well, I hope the first time it hits, I hope you playing on that court, bro, and you just let him live through you, bro. Do your thing. I hate that you can't be here tonight, but I know you got some business to handle out there in Miami. I'm rooting for you, bro. Can't wait to be sitting courtside watching you do your thing. I might have to jump out there and check you one time, dog, because I still got it. You feel me?
It ain't happening.
Hey. When you put up that jumper, go ahead and yell Kobe for us one time, and we'll catch you when you get back in the city, bro.
Man, Friday, man, when I play Friday, man, it's gonna be a different feeling, man. Trust me, man. It's gonna be a different feeling when I play Friday. I know. You know, of course, I'm playing for my mother, you know, and Kobe, and, you know, Gigi, of course, you know, because she wanted to go to the WNBA and live out her dream too as well. She was on her way, so you know, it's gonna be very emotional, man. But I'm ready for it.
Hey, that's a bet, man. So I'll holler at you when you get back in the city, and we'll really go in depth on something, bro. Appreciate you.
Love my dog. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Well, that was that, man. Shout out to that guy. Let's roll in with what y'all have going on, because we always talk about a black business before we go into the round table talk and then highlight our socialites, but y'all do all of that. You know what I'm saying? So let's go in on what you do. Let's go in on what that is.
Okay, perfect. So I can briefly touch upon it. We touched a lot upon it. We had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people in the lobby not this morning. You know, when we first got
just
here.
a little bit ago,
Just a little bit ago. I'm still zooted or whatever, right? But I'm just saying we had a good chance to talk to everybody. But pretty much what we're leaning towards, we definitely did consulting with clients and client work, of course, like with digital advertising and things of that nature. But we're leaning more towards online products and education. Okay, so all of us right here at the Centiverse, we really found something out about ourselves. We really, really, really enjoy helping people. Like and we get a real great joy out of helping large masses of people, like a lot of people at once. So the best way that we figured out to do that is online courses and teaching people how to do stuff. So if it's how to do digital marketing, we teach people how to do that. If it's how to start a business in 30 days, we got a course on that too as well. If you want to know how to become an influencer, that's another course that we're talking about today. That's going to be like the main subject, because one of the things that we see trending right now is that everyone wants to become influential in their niche. And it's okay to do that, but there's a set of principles that everybody needs to follow with anything that I think that you get into, right? If you're getting into business, if you're getting into digital marketing, if you're getting into influence, you need to abide by certain principles. And that's the approach that we took with the influencer. You know what I'm saying? The digital course. We wanted to teach people how to become influencers, because one of the main things that we heard a lot of people talking about is I just don't know if I can do it because I don't have that it factor, or I don't have that something that people talk about. But that's not really a thing. That's a thing that we make up in our head. And if you knew that the principles that these top influencers use, I think that anybody in this world could be an influencer, because it doesn't really matter about anything. All you have to have is, you know what I'm saying, the principle. So that's the approach that we're taking with business, and everything is booming, man. I got, like I said, the squad here with us today. And we just wanted to come to the show and just kind of chat about that, because, like, the way that we see business going right now, especially, like, with it being 2020, everybody's moving towards digital things. Everybody, like, with the magazine here, we got the QR codes on it, because we know all of us are on our phones, and we're doing everything digitally. So we took the approach of teaching digitally too. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the transitions that we're making in business for ourselves, and it's extremely, extremely good right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got PV in the house.
Yeah.
My man's up
Yeah,
there. Go
no.
ahead and tell the people what's up, man.
Yeah. I think we already introduced ourselves. So
Yeah.
I guess to talk about the course, I think what I like about the course is the fact that it teaches principles, right? So it's the 17 immutable laws of influence. So we pattern that after a lot of the great success books because those books teach you principles. I remember reading Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if anybody's ever read Think and Grow Rich, but in Think and Grow Rich, they talk
Napoleon
about
Hill shout out.
Yeah. So they talk about in there, he never talked about the money. He never talked about how to make money. He talked about principles. But there's so many people who attribute their success in life to that book because it taught certain principles about being a wealthy person, how to think. And that's what we see with these influencers. We know a bunch of influencers like my guy right there, Justin. We've had some of the biggest influencers in Houston come through. Like, I mean, these people have millions of followers, millions of subscribers. My boy Will,
And they just
he
come out and
promotes
hang
the
out.
club. Like all these top influencers, I've met them personally, I've talked to them personally, and they're regular people. Like, if you sit in the room with them, they're not different. They're not like fairies or magical human beings, right? They're regular people. And the thing is, when they get on a camera, though, they do some things different than you. When they get on an Instagram feed, they do some things different from you. And if you knew those things, you're an influencer, right? And another thing with me is because I'm really like, I like information, right? So I watch all kind of stuff. So I watch influencers like that. But I also go watch, I'm into computers. I can build my own computers, right? I watch stuff like that. And you'll see somebody who has 10 million subscribers. You don't know who they are right now. Or somebody who plays video games, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million people following them. You don't know who they are right now, but they're an influencer, and they're influential. They make millions of dollars online.
Money.
You get what I'm saying? But I look at that and say, well, let me look at this person and then see this person who's over here analyzing rap lyrics, and what's the similarities. And although they're so different, you'll see a lot of similarities, and identifying those similarities and saying, this is how we're going to take these things and bring it to a person. So if you wanted to be an influencer, whoever wants to be an influencer, if they took these principles, they can start applying them and being like, okay, now I understand how to get people engaged. I understand how to make people want to look at my content.
And if you do all 17 of these principles, you will become an influencer. It's just a fact. Like we talked about consistency at the beginning of this. That's just a big
Which I
part
suck
of it.
at.
Yeah, and it's on there. We talk about
we
that.
talk about that. But at least you know it, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I don't believe it's. I just believe that's all it is, right? Some influencers lack a couple principles, and I think once we really get into creating different influences, we'll see like what a power combo is. Like if you got polarization and you got consistency and you got the mastermind principle, maybe you blow up like this, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe this type of influencer, you know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see like once this course goes out and once tons of people purchase it, like I know they will, I'm just interested to see what type of influencers the course creates, because I do know, like we said, we all discussed this, like tons of people will take this course, but only a few will take action. You know what I'm saying? So
That's real.
the ones who take action, I really hope if you're watching this video or not watching it, we're recording.
Yeah.
If you're watching this or listening to the podcast and you decide to take the influencer, please keep in contact with me. I'm not hard to keep in contact with.
What's great about the influence, we also have the mastermind groups.
Oh, true.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you can get in the mastermind groups where it's basically we talk about we actually help you, assist you afterwards. That's a big thing with us is because to be honest with us, we're gonna always try to give you stuff after because it's like it only does us well if you succeed, because a lot of times you just want to ask certain questions like I got this specific situation, because I'll be honest with you, this is a secret I've learned working with a lot of people. You might answer somebody's question, but they just want you to tell them specifically like, okay, but I have a hair business. It's like,
Right.
yeah, it works for that business. What about me though? I like to sell microphones. It works for that business. And I can show you examples of all these things. I've specifically searched, like one of my favorite examples online is Dr. Pimple Popper. Have you ever heard her?
Yes.
You heard
I'm
of Doc?
obsessed
Yeah.
with her.
So Dr. Pimple Popper, you know what she does?
I don't like the sound of that.
Her channel is literally what you think.
Yeah.
It's literally what you
She's
think.
popping
It's-
pimples, right? Big time influencer,
love
right?
it.
She's a doctor, she's a dermatologist, but she's leveraged that influence, and I'm pretty sure she gets a ton of clients simply because she's got on YouTube and
She
done
has a
something.
TV show now too.
To pop a damn pimple.
Exactly, and that's the thing though.
But my mom could do that so fast.
Exactly. But that's the thing though, right? Like we think that to be an influencer, you got to be like, I got to have a skill, I got to be able to sing, like you could explain these things in an interesting way, and people would be watching and be like, okay, yeah, man, I got millions of fans. Like, you know what I'm saying? People literally lining up to get your signature because you explained how a mixing board works.
And you popping the damn pepper.
Exactly.
Give me that signature.
And that's what I think is interesting. That's why I love the influence thing, because anybody can do it.
Yeah. I mean, like, so with the course, like, this is things that you should understand. So whenever we went into development of the course, right, because we're all businessmen, and something in business that the most successful business people will always tell you is that in order to be really, really successful, to have an extreme competitive advantage, is the ability to ride trends, right? Yeah. So all that we simply did was we took two prominent and emerging trends and just put them together, right? One of those trends is online education, online information, online resources, right? That's a huge thing. I mean, you see even universities transitioning now, developing online programs. Don't worry about coming to class. The degree's just as good online, you know what I mean? It's not going to say that you went to Penn State Online University. It's going to say that you went to the University of Penn State, right? So that's what we saw. We saw this opportunity, a lot of transitioning to online education resources, right? And then the other thing, all these kids, all of the, not even kids, like, we're seeing people that are like 40, 50 years old that just have so much information that they want to share, right? These people like want to learn how to be influencers, how to, develop content, how to expose themselves, how to put themselves out there. So we just simply took those two trends and put them in together to create this course called The Influencer, which teaches you that, right? Now, the thing about the course, which is really, really cool, is that one, it teaches an individual how they could build an influence from, literally having absolutely nothing going for themselves, right? Because it's those principles, the 17 immutable laws of influence, right? So we're teaching the actual consumer, the individual, how to become an influencer. On the flip side, businesses, you know what I'm saying, that might contract influencers, that might want to do work for these influencers, they're able to absorb this content in two ways as well. They're able to, one, look at it like, okay, these are how influencers are and how they interact. And then two, we're also teaching them how they can go about like developing these relationships with these influencers, okay? Now, one of the biggest things about all of this, in which I find it to be the most fascinating, is that even if you don't want to be an influencer, right? Even if you don't want to make yourself polarizing online, you don't want to do this on social media, you don't want to do this on YouTube, the reality is that the content of this information, the content that's in this course, can make you an influential person in your own social circles and your media, even in your family. If you just wanted to have a stronger voice with your family, if you wanted to have more impact on like, hey, we really should be doing this as a family, we really should be doing that. These principles give you even that ability to understand that about yourself. Even if you don't want to translate it to online, you can use it in the real physical world.
Yo, we studied some of the most influential people back in the ancient Babylonians, like literally, like some of the oldest.
We're talking like Alexander the Great. We're talking about like, freaking Cleopatra. We're talking about, King Tutankhamun. Like, you got to understand, these are people that like Alexander the Great, 14, 15 years old, leading the Macedonian Empire on conquest. You know what I'm saying? You have
no social media though.
Tutankhamun was 7 years old and was asked to become the pharaoh of Egypt.
No social media.
And another thing to note is this is not something we just made up like just out of nowhere. Like we've been this has been 2 years.
You've done your research.
We researched this product for 2 years. So the thing is, like, it's like my background, like he said, as far as a lot of the research too, is I've read like over 1,000 books in my life. Anything.
This man literally, I gotta interrupt you and shout you out seriously. So like, this man right here reads books on 3 times the speed, you know what I'm saying, audio books, is able to absorb it. Like, so technically, because we have a mastermind and partnership, I tell people all the time, hey, I read books at 3 times the speed. Because he'll come down and he'll share that information. So I just had to shout that out.
I mean, I'll tell you something. That's why I say the type of person I am or whatever, right? Like, this may not be the most interesting thing, but I learned how to speed read so I could read books quicker. So I've got to the point where I could read a book in a day. Like I could do it really quick. So, and it's really just to absorb more knowledge, right? And the big thing about it is when I look at all this stuff, this is why I'm able to look at certain things and be like I used to tell him when I met him, he'll be like, yeah, I'm doing this with Instagram. And I'll give him like a very scientific principle, like, oh, you're engaging this right here. And he's like, oh, okay. So we're taking that. So we're mixing the two. We always call it sauce and science, right? We put in sauce, like something that's interesting to watch, with the actual science, the reality behind it. Because that's what I've seen most times that's not interesting in a course. It's like, I'll go to a course, and they got all the principles, everything you need, but you just can't get through it. You just like,
Yeah, like in the digital marketing masterclass, you know, like I literally have like people that pop in and out just randomly because, like, you know, people come to the house and we're sitting there filming in the living room and be like, no, just might as well sit down. But we didn't edit any of that stuff out because, you know, like, just be real. Like there's times where I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of class, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, y'all gonna have to hold. I'm gonna go, like, and you just leave the music running, but it's like because it's reality. So we're just trying to make things cool. We have like exciting things go on.
And another thing I thought about is like me. I read books. I'll read a book, right? But the reality is the average person doesn't want to read a book, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's where I was going. But no, that's where I was going. And I thought about the course with people like DJ in mind, right? Because a lot of these people want to be influential. They're just not going to sit down and read no book. Because I had friends telling me like, why don't y'all put this information in a book? I'm like, because the people who really want it, they like, nah, I'm good. So this is like taught in a way. It's like we're not holding nothing back or whatever. It's not taught in a clinical way.
I want to say last thing is like, so not only did we invest a lot of like resources in terms of like learning about this
over
stuff,
$250,000.
Yes, so know that's no cap. Like that number right there, we've invested $250,000 into this course. We have the financial breakdowns of how much we spent on equipment, how much we spent with contractors, how much we spent to use this facility, to use that, and then out of us, right? Because we had to allocate our own time. We know how much we charge clients per hour. You know what I'm saying, for consultation.
Budgeting is real.
Calculating all the hours that we invested into this course, not research, but like literally development of this course. After you literally everything that's on books from a monetary standpoint that we invested, and then from a time allocation, it's $250,000 we put into this course.
I like that. So let me ask you. First of all, how did you get your name?
Country
Cowboy.
So I grew up. I'm from the H. You know what I'm saying? I'm from actually right down the street. Actually, we on 610 right now.
Yeah.
I'm from over there on Konfuzion Hoops for 8900 to be exact. But during the summertime, my papa lived in Cheeks, Beaumont. For anybody that's from BMT 409, my papa lived out there in Cheeks. That's a little country town back there in Beaumont that don't nobody really know about. But every summer, I had to go to Cheeks, and I was forced to do all of the country shit you can think of, like, you know, learn how to like saddle up the horse. I had to feed the horses. I had to do the chicken thing. I had to do all of the things you could think of. I had to cut the grass in the back. I mean, all of that. I was very young, but I noticed a trend on social media when I got it, because I used to be just DJ Edmond on all social media platforms. But then I got to college, right? Yeah. And when I got to college, I remember I always embodied the principles of influence. That was just something I unconsciously did, right? I didn't know what I was doing. But one of the things I always did was I was always polarizing. Like on college, at TSU, nobody was out of the box, more so to say. Like everybody was fashionable and stuff like that, but I decided to take an item and own it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was like, you know what? They were selling cowboy hats in the student center, and I bought it being a clown. I used to play ping pong. And I was playing ping pong with the cowboy hat on one day. And I went home, had the cowboy hat on the whole night. I was smoking hookah with this girl named Tree. Shout out to Tree. I hope Tree listened to this. We was sitting there. Tree? Tree was sitting. We was sitting there. Was on that hookah. I had the little lights going on, and I was.
Y'all was smoking trees. Stop playing. You ain't smoking no hookah, boy.
Actually, I was just on the hookah. Now I'm on the trees, but we gonna skip that, right? So I was on the hookah. And I put the cowboy hat on, and we was both just sitting there. We was like, man, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you know what? I'm gonna do this college cowboy thing, right? And that's where it was birthed.
That's why I met you.
I was college cowboy, but after a short period of time, I realized that I wasn't gonna be in college forever. Yeah. So I had to transition to something else. So what better? You know what I'm saying? Country cowboy. So and then the psychological aspect behind it is that everybody that's not from Texas believes that we all ride horses.
Yeah,
they believe that we all I can only imagine. We all think that everybody in Alaska live in igloos and shit like that,
I'll
right?
say that.
Yeah,
like,
but
I grew up thinking that about y'all down here.
Yeah, and you think that we all ride horses, but nobody's actually doing it, right? So I said,
unless you in Studio Acres home.
Oh, right here, I'm a cow. The horses, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm from the north side. We ain't doing that.
Same.
Ride horses on the north side.
But they over there. I'm gonna tell you something funny. Not even interrupt you, right?
Yeah.
You know that stereotype. So I had a cousin down here one time. He's like, man, y'all country, y'all ride horses. I'm like, nah, it's city down here. So I go to the convenience store. We pull up to the convenience store, right? Here comes a dude down the street.
On the sidewalk.
But he hops out. and saddles his horse up like it's the Wild West and walks in the store. I say, he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, so y'all not riding horses?
It's city down here, though.
But yeah, our horses are like 2 minutes, 3 minutes up the street on Macawa right here. So the barn is right here. But I saw that nobody was
Shout out
embodying.
to Slap.
Yeah, for sure. And like I just saw that nobody was embodying that. Like nobody here was owning that country thing. Like now Megan Thee Stallion does it, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me and Megan real cool. But the thing is that everybody thinks that us out here in Houston and Texas and stuff like that, we are country. So it's an excellent marketing piece. I encourage anybody that's from here to own the cowboy, the cowgirl lifestyle. And nobody owns it.
Well,
Megan
I tell you what,
I don't own it. Megan doesn't own it. Like,
but you owning that space though.
Oh yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
mean, you know what?
Good luck
I got
catching,
rodeo.
Good luck catching. You know,
I got rodeo. I got a song called Rodeo.
True.
Produced by my boy
So there you
DJ
go.
Chose. Shout out
yeah.
to Chose. He gonna DJ at the festival we having.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you Rodeo.
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
something
You know,
for your boy.
I heard one of your songs. Amazing. I can't remember which one it was. You need to check him out. He's big in like music. Like he loves writing music. Has a very
Word.
deep history in like creating music.
Actually,
has
some
one
of the
widest
biggest names in musicians he's worked with.
Oh yeah. Also has some of the widest. Justin Perry right here has the widest music selection.
So,
in his
so
head.
okay, so I got to say
crazy.
this, just like you said about me.
Thank you.
This man has the best playlist. I'm not lying or whatever, right? Like he's literally a thing. He released
You
playlists
don't like his music, I'm
he
telling you.
released playlists like albums. So he'll literally be on social media like, "Hey, I got this new album." Like the first one was called "Be Comfortable,"
Yeah, that one.
and it's literally like him in the bed with like 4 girls and stuff like that. But the playlists are amazing. Like the playlists are like he's sitting there, I seen him making them. And he's like, yeah, but you got to transition from this, and then this song has to go behind this song. I said, oh, it ain't just like I like this song.
It's
I like this song.
it's
I
a
like
method
this.
to the madness.
Yeah.
He's got like it's like 4 of them, whatever. But like
It's
they're
'cause, like-
downloaded like crazy.
Like, so have a big, huge house, right? And so like create a lot of kickbacks, right? Because like I used to go out to the club a lot, do all the bottle popping and everything, and you know got all the attention, and that was cool, right? Now the club is like at the house, right? So every weekend people be like, hey man, what's going on with the trap house? Gotta come through. So like me, like I know like I'm just big on vibes, like you know I like candles, I like lighting, you know I like the music, right? So I just that's part of who I am, and part of like you know I guess it's now us because like you know that culture stems over to everybody. But yeah, when it comes to the music, man, like especially R&B. Oh God, I mean, but that's probably because like I'm from Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So even the Kobe thing, like, I can relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like Kobe, born in Philadelphia, graduated high school, played his high school ball in Philly at Lower Merion. So for me, yeah, just like soul music was a huge part of my life. Like I grew up on it. You know what I'm saying?
day.
Like literally.
Every day.
Like I remember like growing up, like I used to tell people that Smokey Robinson was my dad. Like I would just like fuck around. I'd be like, oh yeah, like be like Smokey. Like but I like Smokey not for his music. I like Smokey because I knew he was a big ass songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew Berry Gordy was a big time songwriter before he owned Motown. So it's like I used to fascinate over those sort of people, man. So yeah, anytime it comes to music, I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah. So I mean that's yeah. We spiraled out, but good conversations. But that's how we found out. Well, that's not how I found out, but that's how I embodied the country cowboy character. And then I started getting amazing responses for it, from it, like on all these social media platforms. Then I went off to creating that uncut thing on Snapchat, which spiraled the country cowboy.
What is that? Because I'm kind of new to what you was doing. And
Okay.
whatnot. I heard his name and whatnot, and I mean we ran into each other a few times, like the Henny thing.
Yeah,
He was
Henny
on
thing,
stage
yeah.
together and stuff. But that's why I'm asking.
So
What-
okay, Uncut was a platform on Snapchat that just it just blew up. It was a group that you can get into that you could literally post like all of the explicit content that you ever.
I was at PV when
And you
that
heard
was
about-
going on,
yeah.
like, cause I got a few videos sent to me, and
They
I
like,
was
"What
like,
is
bro, what
this?"
is it? And like you had to do something to get in or whatnot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I see that every day. I ain't tripping.
Yeah,
But
it was
okay,
that
that was
for
you.
yeah, that was me who created it. But the thing that happened was it spiraled worldwide.
Yeah, it
and
did.
and it got the brand. You know what I'm saying to a high level. That's why a lot of the followers that I have on Instagram now, you know what I'm saying, they came from that. But the coolest part about all of this is unconsciously, I was embodying the same principles that are in the influencers.
Say that again. Say that again.
It's so crazy. It's literally though. When building Uncut, we built it and it was a worldwide thing. I'm not sure if everybody that's listening to this knows what Uncut is, but just know it reached the world. Like literally, we had so many people in it, but it was built on principles. It would really shock you to see how we operated that thing. It was no way in hell anybody could ever imagine what was behind that thing. Like it was just a little. It wasn't even our app. You know what I'm saying? It was Snapchat, but we had the systems and processes down packed. I mean, we had all types of admins, and admins were the people who created a page for a specific group. So it's like we had an LGBT page, we had a regular page, we had a page for men, we had a page in New York, had a page in Dallas, we had a page in the Virgin Islands, we had a page. Like every page had an admin, but we had admins in different parts of the world, and we ran it like a real business. You know what I'm saying? And we made I paid for that house that I lived in on Aiden Drive when I first met you. Me and him was doing business a long time ago, but I paid from that house from Uncut.
That's crazy.
Snapchat, like,
And
you know what I'm saying?
tell you a funny story, right? Like the how to start a business in 30-day principles. That's why we know they work. And that's where they would test.
I mean, we wouldn't have found each other without, those principles, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like our partnership was all developed by the fact that, we utilize social media and like we came across each other in that way. Yeah.
Bro, that is sick. That is crazy. You were able to pay for a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally did.
You
Yeah.
had, it reached like 300,000 people.
Yeah, we need to be talking to you, dog. We got some work to do.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. It's in-house.
Ooh, I like that, man. Hey,
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think people realize like how much we've been doing behind the scenes. Like we made so many sacrifices, like collectively, like as individuals, like over this past year, like especially a lot of financial, like because I said like this took a lot of money. Like you know what I'm saying. Like it's tough whenever you see like all your friends are doing all this. All your friends like, and this goes out to anybody that's listening. There's a lot of distractions in this world. There's a lot of like FOMO, fear of missing out, because you see like all your friends are doing this, but like doing all this. But when you really dig deep, some of those friends are hurting. You know what I'm saying? And like I imagine like over the last like 6 months to a year, you could look at us and be like, well, they're not doing like all this, not going out as much as like everybody else, like at least like some of me, and you'd be like, maybe they're like, but no, it's just like we're making sacrifices, investing. You know what I'm saying? Investing in this product right here because this shit really is revolutionary.
yeah. Well, speaking of, because I know y'all got we limited on time, and I'm glad y'all here. So from everything that you've said about your business and personal development and whatnot, and we have a young lady here that's starting her own thing, the House of Vega, in the space of modeling. She is a model, by the way. If y'all don't know, she's in the
I worked
show.
Wear Models a while back, a long time
Nice.
ago. We worked together.
So talk about what you do.
101.
Talk about what you're implementing, and based on the insight that they've given, that I know that's something you're gonna have to deal with.
Right. So basically what I did was I just decided to start my own agency. Just out the strength that I started modeling around age 17. I came in, didn't know too much about runway posing. I started with a lot of different agencies in the Houston area. I started with J. Mulan. Then I went on to Neil Hamill. Then I went on to different agencies, and I just felt like nothing was working. So eventually, I had a lot of models on Snapchat. How do I start modeling? And I kept saying, well, start taking pictures. But I felt like that wasn't enough. So I was like, okay.
True.
I need to start my own agency. And all of my friends was like, do it. Like, you got to start somewhere. So I was like, okay, what can I do that's different? Because people they're not going to sign to me if I'm doing the same thing J. Mulan is doing or Neil Hamill is doing. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a developmental agency. Where you only sign with me for a year. But in that year time span, we're developing you for the industry. So
real deal.
Right. So we have different packages, and then like I think our highest package, you get meetings with like IMG, Wilhelmina, things like that, because we have that type of connection. So as long as we are, giving these models chances that everybody else can't, we're gonna blow up.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's something different.
You got them.
Right.
So
True.
it's always ways.
Exclusivity, man. When you have access to something exclusive, that's competitive advantage. That's leverage. Definitely take
Right.
Yeah.
Differentiating factor.
That's interesting. You're gonna be in the SLEM Winter Snowcase, the festival that we're putting on. Country Cowboy's gonna be in there, and I mean we're excited to see y'all there, walking and being an influencer there. Like it's big, man. So I hope y'all do some work together.
Oh yeah.
And make it happen.
I've
'cause
actually
I believe
worked
in
with
you.
DJ before regarding my Instagram, because I went to I think Wear Models class. It was like 101 or something like that, and he was there talking about Instagram. So a lot of us really didn't know how do we like get big on Instagram? What do we do? And then like that's when I hit him up and kind of he let me know, okay, this is what you need to do. I paid, and he like literally did exactly what he said he was gonna do. But from then on out, like it was just like, okay, you know, you have to be consistent. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very inconsistent model. I don't even know how I'm getting all these brand ambassadorships because I am not consistent.
Your energy.
But it's like I'm that type of model. I hate being not humble about things. Like I'm the type to come in, I'm gonna speak to everybody. I want everybody to feel my energy. That's very important, especially if you're in LA, you have to have that energy. Nobody's gonna want to sign you or work with you if you don't have that good energy. So because of that, I've been like hella booked and busy.
Yeah.
So
Ari with that good aura.
Yes.
You was about to say something to
Oh.
whatever it is. But hey, I appreciate what y'all got
I
going
did.
on.
Oh yeah, but I did want to let everybody know before we get out of here where they can go sign up for the
Please do.
influencer. Yeah,
That's
so
what we was getting
this is
to.
my favorite part. I was waiting on this ever since we bought this high ass domain. Excuse my French, but run over to canibefamous.com. Okay?
Oh, if you get that .com, you gonna pay that.
Yeah.
They gonna tax
They
you.
gonna
boy.
tax
They
you on
did,
that.
yeah, that's part of the expensive. Buying canibefamous.com. Yeah, we had to
get that.
We don't
but-
want to talk about that price.
right? But run over there right now because all of the information that you need to become an influencer is available for you right now. And and literally, like, do not wait, okay? Because I don't know when this particular show is gonna air on iTunes, correct? Or wherever we are in this particular podcast at. But if you listen to this right now and you know good and well, you don't have all of the principles to be the influencer that you want to be, you need to go over to canibefamous.com. You'll love it. You're gonna love it. It's like it's one of those products that you're gonna appreciate. That's on the market for you. It has a lot of care into it. It's marketed properly. It's going to make sure, like, I know me, when I see something, I'm a very skeptical person. Like, sometimes, like, especially if I know I need it. That's how we all are, right?
Yeah.
We hate being sold. But the way that we sell this is going to be a breath of fresh air for your pocket. So go over there right now and head over to canibefamous.com.
So question,
Yeah.
could you come to my casting call and
Of
talk?
course.
Ooh, I love it.
Because that would be very big. Like I'm trying to sign at least 20 models
Oh,
the
yeah.
day of.
Why wouldn't we?
And then we're gonna have a boot camp. So at our boot camp, like that's gonna be a tough 3 days. Like they have to know social media.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it'll be cool to have all of the models understanding the principles of influence.
Right.
I just think that.
Teaching them how to
think-
have that
I think-
Mamba mentality.
I think that's the angle, though.
Principles.
I think that's the angle, though, right? Like, I'll give you a small example, right? And because I know we don't get that much time, but remember we was walking on the field and we was at the XFL, and I said the big thing about the XFL when it first came out that I did like about it, but I think it was too soon, was they allowed the players to have a lot more personality. You could put
Your
whatever
own
you
name
want
on the
the back.
jersey, yeah.
So they had one guy, I think Spike Lee did make a movie about it. He Hate Me, right? And we always remember that name, but that was like an influential move because that was very polarizing to put
He ended up in the league too. Yeah.
So
They actually called him He Hate Me whenever he was in
Yeah.
the league. They didn't use his real name.
So what I'm saying, I was like, I believe one of the power plays the XFL could leverage is if their players were influencers, because I don't know if y'all are following the boxing thing between the YouTube stars like Logan Paul, KSI.
Oh, yeah.
They're pulling they're pulling bigger numbers than real boxers right now, right? And there's one going down tomorrow, which is the Jake Paul versus I don't know the other guy's name or whatever, right? I just happen to see it because we've been researching the influencer and this stuff is popping up. But what I'm saying is they don't box, but people are watching them. So you think about anybody, if you're learning these principles of influence, it doesn't matter. You could dominate anything. Like,
Wait, I thought it was Jake Paul and Soulja Boy. What happened?
no, they had beef too.
Oh.
I researched all that or whatever. He pulled up on Soulja Boy. It might have been scripted, but he actually pulled up the Soulja Boy house.
Before I want to say one thing before we do depart, specifically with the influencer with the course that we're releasing. So when you do go to canibefamous.com, of course we want to encourage you to take advantage of the information, the course itself, and because it's beautiful information. But also on the flip side, there's also another opportunity that exists, okay? We actually created an affiliate program, so we are giving people the opportunity to resell the actual program, right? So to become like brand ambassadors for selling the course. Now, the reason why this is so phenomenal and this is so amazing, okay? And I'm going to break this down to you and for everybody that's listening, this is very, very important. Follow me, okay? Because this is business one-on-one, all right? If you wanted to start an e-commerce company today, God bless you. I'm rooting for you. I want that for you. And you should, right, if you're passionate about it. I want you to understand this about business, okay? Say, for instance, you wanted to open up a sports supply store, okay, and you wanted to sell Adidas and Nike and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a thing called MAP pricing, which is manufactured approved pricing, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, whenever you're a reseller for products, or even if you were going to go get a custom product and put your own logo on it, most cases, your product, your margin on that product, right, is going to be around 30%, 40% on the high note, but 30% if you're reselling, sometimes 20%, okay? Now, that's not factoring in advertising. That's not factoring in fulfillment, shipping, all the other business expenses, and also returns, right? So by the time your average e-commerce product is actually sold with marketing and everything that goes into it, your margin might be actually 5 to 10%. So you might actually just be pocketing 5 to 10% of that sale, right? Okay. So with our course, what we have and with our digital media products, it's 100% margin for us because there's no overhead. We've already developed the course. It already exists. So the margin is 100% once it sells, right? Mm-hmm. So anybody that resells the course for us that wants to be a salesperson, a sales representative, or a brand ambassador, we're giving 50% of all sales to that person. And all sales that you generate, you get 50%. So if you were to start an e-commerce company right now and you were going to go sell for Nike, Nike's not even giving you that. You know what I'm saying?
50.
Yeah, none of these companies, not Fashion Nova, none of them, okay? We're giving away 50%. In addition, those that do partake in this brand ambassador program, okay, we are giving away 3 prizes to the top 3, but then also a grand prize to the big one, right? We're not going to announce what the grand prize is. After we get off here, we'll tell you real quick when it's not recorded just because we have to wait to the release. But the top 3 prizes are going to be this for those that sell for us, right? Top prize, $5,000 cash, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to do it at the end of Q1. So at the end of the March, that's when we'll announce winners. Of course, the course is going to keep selling, but just the brand ambassadors and affiliates. So top prize, going to give you $5,000 cash, right? Second place, that, you know, in terms of sales performance, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pay for your groceries for an entire year. We're going to give you a $300 stipend every single month that you can use for your groceries. Now, it's going to be your money. You can use it really for whatever you want. We hope you use it for groceries or at least use it for credit card debt or something like that. You know what I mean? But it'll be $300 stipend every single month for an entire year that will say that it's for groceries, but you can utilize forever. Third place prize is going to be a brand new iPhone, or if you want a Pixel, if you're an Android user, you know, we'll get you that. But it'll be a brand new iPhone. It'll be the Plus, you know what I'm saying? So don't worry about like us trying to cheat you or anything. Like we'll give you the full $1,400, $1,500 one, whatever the best one is. We got that for you. So, and then like I said, there's a grand prize that's going to be something I hope to see. I can't wait to see your reaction. You know what the grand prize is. It's pretty damn cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You got me excited.
Yeah, so we'll tell you that. But yeah, we just wanted to put that information that exists as well.
And there's a couple more things I would say too. It's like what you said. You're gonna make a lot of money too, but also if you want your friends to promote or something like that, because this is something you brought to my attention. Like maybe you're not a big time influencer, but you know a bunch, right? If you get other people to promote it, you're gonna get 10% of what everything they sell, you'll get 10%.
So like you own a modeling agency. Imagine having all of the influencers like selling it. Maybe you don't do that. That's not a strategy that you do. But just imagine how much money you can make if you have 20 people selling a product like this.
You're getting 10% of all of that shit.
Yeah, it's residual.
Just for bringing them to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, it's not like it's not like multi-level market. It's not like anything like that. You don't got to bring nothing to like sign it. Like literally, just like promote this course for us.
And most importantly, the product is not a scam.
And it's not a scam. It's
you know what I'm saying?
Great product.
That's why I said outside. I just can't wait for people to actually get in it and absorb the knowledge so they can. I know what the content will do to you because it did it to me when I first saw it. It's going to make you want to share it with others because you're going to say the same thing that we're excited about. This is not strategy based. This is principles. People are going to purchase this and feel excited that they purchased this instead of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to end saying that, man. I appreciate everything, man, for having us on the show.
Thank you so much for having us. Seriously, man.
Grateful for the opportunity.
For real.
I know they tell you got a great radio voice, don't they?
I've heard it.
Yeah, man. Come on. When I heard it, I was like, oh, man.
Got that spoon,
Hey,
boy.
man, we definitely gonna connect outside of this, bro. We gonna get on some music.
Yeah, I want to hear the music for sure.
We gonna do it. Everybody that's watching, we got the best of the best in the house tonight, man. I can't thank these guys enough for coming out and talking with us. I can't thank Ari enough. Ari was also instrumental in reaching out to my boy Country Cowboy. 'Cause, he got all them girls in his DM. He act like he don't. He got them in
I'll
there.
be telling that man.
I respond to her every time she DM me though. She know that me and her conversate all the time in the DMs.
I'll be looking
Yeah.
at his stories. I'll be like, y'all. Bro.
Yeah,
That's
hey, bro,
aggressive.
you're influencing me to get back in that gym. 'Cause let me tell you, all I need is 2 weeks and I see results. But I don't like pain. See what I'm saying?
I feel
Yeah,
you.
you feel me?
How
But
do you take all this women like just? I'll be trying to figure.
don't
that
get
out.
us. Don't you answer that?
Yeah.
That's
so
another
podcast.
That's a
That
whole nother
Don't you
podcast.
answer that. But that's that uncut right there. You gotta go get the uncut version. You know what I'm saying? But man, listen, y'all been great. Check us out. Respond to these guys. CanIBeFamous.com. I know you can. If you sign up for it, just know what you're signing up for.
Hey, you know what? One last thing before we go, man. Hey, do y'all think that it'll be okay since everybody in the room right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all had us on the show. We appreciate that. What if we just give y'all the course for free and y'all can take it and just give us y'all feedback on that?
I don't sound like it's.
Yeah, like we'll give you
I'm
all the
gonna
courses
do it.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give me the
Just-
course.
Yo,
you
you
give me the
you
course
on
for
the
free.
marketing
I'm gonna
stuff,
take
right? Yeah,
the
you
course.
take that.
I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna make videos
Of
about it
course.
on
yeah.
my page because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Two people sent me, two brands sent me some clothing. You know what I'm saying. And I've been rocking it
Yeah.
everywhere I go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. I'm
love
like,
it.
And I
yo,
just-
so I want to do
Okay,
that, bro.
perfect.
Real
And
talk.
then you fairly get compensated because that's just the
Yeah,
type
if
of
you
people
sell
that we
them
are.
Yeah.
50. We
We
give
on
50.
50.
And when I give you
Every
that,
time.
when I give you that link to the festival, it's 50%.
Hey,
You know what
too.
time
You
it
sharing
is.
the 50.
You know
We
what
time
gonna
it
do
is.
it,
You know
huh?
what
We wanna
time
put the money in your pocket too, bro.
You know what time it is. Let's run it up, man. Let's run it up.
That is a bet. CanIBeFamous.com. Man, these guys are doing it. They didn't invest their time, their precious money, their precious knowledge, and everything into this project, into this business to help grow people like me and you and beyond the world. They can reach the world. They have reached the world, and we're pretty sure that with what they have going on, they will reach the world with that. So we need your help. Like, comment, share. Tell your mama, your friend, your aunties, your everybody. Tell them. CanIBeFamous.com. Put somebody else on. Check out these guys. Shout out to Country Cowboy, the team. Shout out to Ari in the House of Vega. I am your host, Calvin Kosher. You have been live with SLEM TV. Keep it kosher and holla back. There you go.